Have you ever wondered if your cat is angry at you? You're certainly not alone if you have. The first sign that your cat might be angry is a swishing or thumping tail. Now you might be confused. You might think, isn't wagging a tail a sign of joy in dogs? Yes, it is, but remember, cats aren't dogs and their communication methods vastly differ. The world of felines is a complex one, and a wagging tail has a completely different here. So let's try to understand this mystery a little better. Envision yourself nestled comfortably in your living room, engrossed in a captivating novel while basking in the tranquility of the evening. Your pet cat is residing nearby, its tail elegantly hanging off the side of the couch. Out of the blue, you notice a slight movement in the cat's tail. It starts swishing gently, a tender sway back and forth that barely catches your attention. But soon the tempo increases and the motion becomes conspicuously vigorous. This is no indication of happiness or contentment on the cat's part. Instead, your feline companion is articulating a message of exasperation or anger in the only language it is fluent in, body language. Now let's delve a bit deeper. Perhaps the swishing of the tail intensifies, culminating into a boisterous thump. The tail descends onto the hardwood floor, creating an alarmingly rhythmic beat that reverberates through the room. This is a glaring sign that your cat has transitioned from being slightly agitated to absolutely livid. But why does this happen, you may be wondering. Cats, like many other animals, use their tails as a means of communication. Picture their tails as a flag fluttering in the wind, signaling their emotional states to all those present. When a cat is at ease and content, its tail is generally static. However, when a cat gets upset or angry, that's when the tail springs life, being the first audible and visible sign of its unrest. In the wilderness, this behavior acts as a warning to other creatures, asking them to keep their distance before the situation escalates. However, when observed in our cozy homes, it's often an indication that the cat is annoyed with certain elements in its surroundings. It could be triggered by a loud blaring sound, an undesired pat from an overzealous sibling, or even another pet encroaching on its personal territory. So the next time you observe your cat's tail swishing or thumping, take it seriously. It is not a sign of pleasure as seen in dogs. On the contrary, it is an explicit signal that your cat is distressed. So keep a close eye on your cat's tail movements. It might be communicating more than you realize. Hissing and growling are clear signs that your cat is not in a good mood. Now let's embark the journey of understanding the enthralling universe of feline communication. Contrary to popular perception, cats are not always the silent, aloof entities they're portrayed to be in literature and mass media. They possess a broad spectrum of vocalizations, each with a distinct meaning in their world. Among the most distinctive of these vocalizations are hissing and growling. So why do cats hiss and growl? These sounds are typically defensive signals, a language of their own. When a cat finds itself threatened or cornered, it may resort to hissing or growling as a way to vocalize its discomfort, fear, or annoyance. This is the feline method of expressing, "I need my space, I'm not pleased at this moment." Let us consider a scenario where you introduce a new pet into your home. Your cat, which had been the undisputed ruler of its realm, suddenly finds itself sharing its kingdom with a stranger. This can be a jarring experience for your cat, leading it to feel insecure and territorial. To illustrate this, let's picture the tale of Whiskers, a docile tabby, who had been living comfortably and ruling his territory for several years. Everything was just perfect in his world until one day a new puppy named Spot was introduced into the equation. Whiskers was far from pleased with this unexpected development. He felt his domain was under invasion, and he didn't hold back in expressing his displeasure. He began hissing and growling at Spot, a clear warning to the puppy to tread carefully on his turf. However, it is critical to note that hissing and growling are not always signs of aggression or territorial instincts. At times, a cat might hiss or growl because it is in pain or is feeling unwell. If you notice a sudden increase in the frequency of your cat hissing or growling, it would be a good idea to consult with your vet immediately to rule out any underlying health issues. Cats, like humans, are individuals. They each have their unique personalities, traits, and quirks. Some cats might be more vocal than others, and the triggers that lead to hissing or growling can greatly from one cat to another. Remember, hissing and growling are clear warning signs. Respect your cat's space when you notice these behaviors. Comprehending your cat's vocalizations and respecting its boundaries can help foster a better, more harmonious relationship with your feline companion.
After all, effective communication is the cornerstone of any relationship, even in the world of cats.
Did you know your cat's ears can be a mood detector? Ears pulled back often signify that your cat is angry or scared. Now, isn't that fascinating? Often we overlook the subtle ways in which our furry friends communicate with us. Cats, in particular, have a unique of their own. Their ears, in particular, are akin to antennas, finer than even the most sophisticated satellite dish. They constantly rotate, tilt, and adjust, picking up the slightest sounds and vibrations in their environment, but their function extends beyond being excellent sound receptors. They are an instrumental aspect of a cat's body language, serving as clear, expressive communicators of their emotional state. Just as humans use facial expressions and body language to convey our feelings, our feline companions use their ears to express their emotions. When a cat's ears are erect and facing forward, it's usually a sign of relaxation and contentment. The animal is at ease, comfortable in its surroundings. But when those ears start to flatten or pull back against the head, your cat is attempting to communicate a change in mood. This is a signal from your feline friend telling you they're not in their best emotional state. Picture this: your cat is serenely lounging on its favorite sunlit windowsill. Suddenly, an unfamiliar face appears on the other side of the window. Observe closely. You'll likely see your cat's ears instinctively draw back, as if trying to retract from the unexpected sight. This is a clear expression of discomfort, fear, or even anger. Or consider another scenario. You've brought home a new toy. Initially, your cat might be curious, their ears alert and forward. But should they find the toy intimidating or dull, those ears will quickly retreat, signaling their disapproval. These are just a few examples. The reality is the nuances of a cat's ear language can vary greatly. Every cat is unique, and their manner of expressing emotions through their ears can differ. But one common signal is this: if your cat's ears are pulled back, they're likely feeling distressed. In such instances, it's a good idea to give them some space and time to relax. Patience and understanding are key when dealing with an upset feline. It's important to respect their boundaries and give them the comfort and security they need. And remember to keep an eye on those furry antennas on their heads. They're more expressive than you might think. Next time you're spending some quality time with your furry friend, take a moment to pay attention to their ears. You may learn more about them than you ever thought possible. Understanding your cat's emotional state through their ear language can greatly your relationship with them, fostering a deeper bond of mutual respect and affection. Next time, pay attention to your cat's ears. They might be giving away their feelings. After all, a better understanding of your cat's emotions can lead to a happier, healthier relationship between you two. Another sign that your cat might be angry is dilated pupils. The eyes have long been synonymous with the phrase windows of the soul, and this is just as applicable for our furry companions as it is for us. The ability to understand a cat's mood and intentions even extends to understanding their anger or fear. These emotions can cause the pupils, the black central part of their eyes, to grow larger or dilate. This physiological change occurs as a result of a surge of adrenaline in response to an imminent threat, priming our beloved feline for a potential fight-or-flight scenario. Let's delve into the story of a house cat named Whiskers, usually calm and friendly. One day, Whiskers was comfortably sprawled in his favorite window-facing spot when he was startled by an abrupt, loud noise from outside. His owner observed pupils expanding almost immediately, morphing into large, round circles. Here, the dilated pupils were clear indicators that Whiskers was experiencing either fear or anger, feelings elicited by the unexpected noise. However, it's crucial to understand that dilated pupils are not exclusively a sign of anger. Cats' pupils can also expand when they are experiencing excitement or heightened stimulation. Take a moment to recall if you've ever noticed your cat's eyes enlarging just before they spring onto a toy mouse. The dilation of the pupils in this context allows for more light to enter their eyes, boosting their focus on the target. It's also interesting to note that cats' pupils widen in response to low light conditions. This biological adaptation is designed to improve their vision when it gets dark. So, if you observe cats' pupils dilating, don't jump to conclusions. It's essential to consider the context. Could they be in a dimly lit room? Are they engaged in a play session or intensely staring at something? Or it could be that there is something around them that could be making them feel threatened or anxious. In conclusion, while dilated pupils can certainly be a sign of anger in cats, it's equally important to evaluate other contributing factors. Numerous elements play a part in decoding this manifestation, such as the cat's body, the environmental factors, and the current situation. Therefore, a swift glance at your cat's eyes can provide a preliminary hint about emotional state. So a quick glance at your cat's eyes can give you a hint about their mood. So, those were some of the signs that might indicate your cat is angry. Let's start by revisiting our first telltale sign, the swishing tail. It's a fascinating behavioral pattern that often goes unnoticed due to its subtlety. Cat's tail usually moves gently, almost like a soft breeze. But when it starts to violently swish or whip around, it's like a sudden thunderstorm, indicating your cat is annoyed or angry. This can be a result of various triggers, such as a disturbance in their environment or a perceived threat. Next, we explored the auditory clue of hissing and growling, a clear and evident sign of feline discomfort. Cats resort to these vocal expressions when they feel threatened or upset. It's their way of communicating their discontent. So, if your feline friend is making these noises, it's a clear indication they're not in the best of spirits. Our third sign was the visual cue of ears pulled back. This is a universal sign of displeasure among various animal species, and cats are no exception. It's as if they're retreating, pulling back their ears in an attempt to protect themselves. When your cat adopts this posture, they're likely feeling threatened or angry. Lastly, we dove deep into the mystery of the dilated pupils. While it's common knowledge that a cat's pupils can dilate in response to changes in light, sudden dilation when the light level remains consistent can be a sign of fear or aggression. This change can be subtle, but it's essential to notice, as it can be cat's way of telling you they're not comfortable. Understanding these signs is of paramount importance. It's about more than just knowing when to give your cat some space. It's about learning to read their body language, understanding their needs and emotions. It's about building trust, respect, and a strong bond with your feline companion. When you can read their signs of anger, it shows your cat that you understand and respect their boundaries and emotions, leading to a stronger, more fulfilling relationship with your feline companion. Each cat is unique, and these signs can vary greatly. The best way to understand your cat is through constant observation, patience, and empathy. It might seem overwhelming at first, but it's a journey worth upon, one that will enhance your understanding and deepen your bond with your furry friend. Remember, if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more pet-related content. Observing your cat's behavior can make a world of difference in your relationship with them. By investing time in understanding them, you're investing in a relationship that will bring you immeasurable joy. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.